Well, cheers and how do you do, buckaroos? What I have here is a home version of a classic Manhattan. Uh, Last weekend when we were in Kansas City, I stopped by Tomstown Distillery, and they made me the best Manhattan I've ever had in my life using this Pendergast Royal Gold Oak Finished Bourbon. I'm sorry, Cask Finished Bourbon. 90 proof bourbon. Until he could fire up his own still, the country's most corrupt political boss, King Tom Pendergast, procured the finest bourbon. He bottled it, trademarked the brand name, and sold Royal Gold to a thirsty public. In the same spirit, with the same name, we present Pendergast Royal Gold Bourbon. We didn't have to bribe anyone to make it good. Yeah, it's pretty freaking amazing, to be honest with you. I'm worried about him knocking that down, so I'm going to set that there off to the side, show you this cocktail that I have served as a classic Manhattan, straight up. I know it's a martini glass, work with me. I'm working with what I got, people. I do need to get me a classic Manhattan glass. So what I have here is I've got about 2.5 ounces of the Pendergast Gold. I have got, a nice splash, probably about a 1/4 ounce of the Dolan Sweet Vermouth here. Let me show you that bottle. I've got about 4 dashes of the Angostura. I did have the Regan's Orange. Here I've got the Angostura bitters, so there we go. Must have had that other bottle in the other fridge. Anyway, orange bitters. You use whatever you like. I like the Regan's. I like the Angostura. Use the ones you like. And I also have the proper maraschino cherry for a classic Manhattan. And here you go. I got this very close to what that kid made. Because I don't know exactly what vermouth they were using, but typically when I've ordered these out, they usually use just a little too much vermouth for me. I just want enough in to know what's in there. And that Manhattan I had at Tomstown was absolutely perfect. Finished nice, clean, and dry. It's a very oaky, dry bourbon, and that's what I loved about it. And I remember asking him at the time, so this finishes more oaky dry than any Manhattan I've ever had, so I'm going to assume it's the particular bourbon. He says, yes. Yes, it is. Oh, this is brilliant. I do like this cocktail, though. It's just, I guess maybe because I'm just that kind of guy. I'm a classic, old school kind of guy. Not a big fan of nouveau cocktails. And the big reason for that is I think the nouveau cocktail makes the same mistake that nouveau chefs make, is they try to put too much in it. A great dish doesn't need 100 ingredients. A great cocktail doesn't need 100 ingredients. You know, the best chefs in the world are those, they can make that 100 ingredient dish, but I guarantee if you ask most of the great chefs in the world what their favorite dish is, it's a classic dish and it contains minimal ingredients. You know, you got 5 ingredients as opposed to 100. Now I know I'm exaggerating, but I think you get the point. But I do think that's the mistake that a lot of younger bartenders make when they're trying to make their mark, trying to invent classic cocktails, trying to invent a cocktail, is they think it has to have 100 ingredients. Now, you're better off picking 5 and making it work, or picking 4 and making it work. Because you can come up with 4 ingredients, do it a little bit different than anyone has before, and create your spin on it. For instance, I don't know that I've invented this cocktail, so here's the disclaimer, but I think I have. So, using the Manhattan as a template, I use the Kansas City Candy Company smoked pear shrub in place of the vermouth. Use the bitters, the whiskey, everything else is the same. So, I refer to it because I'm using the Pendergast Royal Gold from Tomstown and Kansas City Candy Company shrub. I call it the Tom's Kansas City. So there you go. Anyway, I am Tom the Manhattan Whisperer, prolific Manhattan drinker, pervert wisdom man. All around good guy. Cheers, y'all.